this week's live installment. Let me get this set up. This week's live installment will be a little something different. I got a whole lot of stuff going on, and I actually want to shoot a riding video today on the Sportster project. I took it for its first shakedown run yesterday. Everything seems okay. We're going to check a couple nuts and bolts, and we're going to take it for a ride. Before that, we do got to keep up with some of our other projects, and the next step until we get the battery for the Suzuki Marauder, it needs cleaned up, like pretty bad. She has been severely neglected. We're going to go through just a quick way, making it look a little better. While the sun's out, it's 59 degrees outside. The sun's out. Good time to wash a bike. So we're going to do a kind of a deep cleanse, heavy duty deal, and we'll worry about the polishing later. I got some stuff to do this afternoon and some stuff to do tomorrow. So in the evening, up inside the garage where we're not going to blast water everywhere, that's where we'll do our polishing and making her look pretty. So for now, let's get to doing what we're doing. We're going to need some heavy duty degreaser. I've had this for years. I don't even know if it still works. So let's put some water in it and test it. I use this for killing weeds, actually. It's the old school trick you can use instead of buying dangerous chemicals like Roundup and whatnot. And that is to mix vinegar, Dawn dishwashing liquid in a pot and warm it up as warm as you can get it. And then add to it as much salt as you can possibly add to it until it all dissolves. And then you use that. It's a natural weed killer. Unfortunately, it kills everything. It's not selective, but if you've got creeper vines on the side of your house, it's perfect. It will not hurt animals. Your beloved pets can basically drink it, and they're not going to like it, but it's not going to kill anything other than vegetation. The problem is it tends to, whatever jug you use, it'll kill the seals, which I think we have had happen here. Let's see if we can get some pressure built up in this thing. Let's see if it's actually going to do anything for us. Otherwise, we'll be using a spray bottle, which will take a lot longer, and that's fine by me. Yeah, I think... No, we're actually getting some pressure out of this. So I just wanted to test it with water before I wasted money and chemical. Yeah, it's not really... Seals are shot in this, I think. What's up, Danny Yorko? Yeah. I think we're just going to let this soak and let the seals come back around. We'll deal with that later. It's just water in it. Being as we're on a timeline here, it's like I said, I got a lot of shit I got to get done today. We'll just go the old school route. Hey, what's up, Primary XX? Yeah, I try to shout out everybody that comes in. We're going to use some purple power. This stuff is killer. It's very powerful. You got to dilute it. You don't want to use it straight. The engine cases on this machine are aluminum. There's chrome. This stuff will eat it right up and make it look terrible. I'm not sure what the dilution is in this, so I'm going to go ahead and just dump that right down the crapper. And let's add a little fresh degreaser. Hopefully my pressure washer still works. I haven't used it in a while. So to this, we're going to do maybe 25% purple power. We'll fill it to like about where my finger is right there. We're going to top the rest off with water. Maybe just a shade more. And like I said, you really only want to use this straight if it's something that is completely, absolutely crusty, covered in grease, and generally something steel. This is going to make aluminum look really funky. It is an alkaline solution, and you know your metallurgy, alkaline and aluminum, they don't react very well. I'm using warm water just to, it aids in the mixing. There we go. All right, so we got our degreaser set up. Hopefully this spray bottle works. You know, God forbid I plan ahead and, you know, pick up a new spray bottle. Yeah, that'll work just fine. All right. We got a scrub brush. Let's turn you around that way so you can see what I'm doing. And this here is the machine that, as you can see, dude, she sat outside under a tree for like 3 years. The owner just kind of forgot about it when he bought his new bike. We got her up and running. If you're following my lives and you follow my videos, you'll see all the mechanical work we did to this bike. The very last thing, the owner needs to bring me a battery for it. But as you can see, we live near steel mills, so you got this crap, which may even be mold and along the engine. So we're going to use some heavy duty stuff and a pressure washer to clean that up. So before we even go there, where can I set you that you're out of the way? Something like that. Hopefully, is the audio working? Guys, shout out to me. Let me know how my audio is working. I recharged the batteries in both my mics. They were both dead. We're going to remove the seat here. It's not bolted down. And if you watched the live, was it last weekend? Maybe I did a live on this. We actually reconditioned the seat, brought it around to look almost brand new. It came out really good. We don't need to clean this. We don't need to wash this, but underneath it, we do. So let's get this out of the way. Let's back the machine out into the daylight. Get everything set up, and I will move you guys out there so you can see better, pardon me, what I'm doing. This machine has had new tires, tune-up, including spark plugs, air cleaners. It's been gone through. It's got a new brake master cylinder. The front brake caliper has been rebuilt. What else? The clutch in safety switch was malfunctioning, so we basically hot wired it. It'll start with the clutch out now, but it saved the owner from having to buy a new housing or a used switch for the housing, which honestly we don't know if that would have worked out when you buy used parts. We'll put her in gear, set her on the hill here. All right, you're seeing a crappy part of my garage here where stuff needs to go out for this week's garbage. A crap ton of boxes and stuff. I keep old boxes laying around. They're great for soaking up oil, and you don't got to clean it up like you do kitty litter. And as you know, in this day and age, everything you buy is ordered, right? Amazon, eBay, that kind of thing. So there is no shortage of boxes whatsoever in my garage. And rather than actually buy oil or kitty litter for projects that, you know, when I'm opening up an engine and there's going to be oil laying on the ground, you know, we have these boxes that are free, right? Why not use them? Let's get the hose out here. I'm done with this. I'll get you guys out here in the sun where you can have a better look at what I'm doing. Come on with me over here. Now, there's still shade overhead because it's the way the sun is and the way the garage is. But as you can see now here in the daylight, she's a little crusty. Okay, we're going to see, we're going to clean this bike up. This will be your before. And I want this to be in the beginning of the live because the next live is when we'll actually do some polishing to this machine. And you'll get a better idea of how it's going to come out. Get you. Can you got a good view of what I'm doing from over there? Not quite, huh? How about like that? Sorry about the shadows, dude. It is what it is. It's something kind of just gonna have to deal with, unfortunately. Now, I don't go nuts when it comes to pressure washing, especially things like motorcycles. I don't use a very powerful pressure washer, simply because you get water in places where water should not be. Should stay completely packed with grease. You just blew the grease out of them with your pressure washer. See what I'm saying? Carburetors that really don't function very well when there's water in them, you just blew water in it. So I have found over the umpteen years, I've been messing with motorcycles since 1991. Yes, I'm old. But I have found through the years that you kind of do better with something that has a little bit of oomph, but nothing crazy, you know. I think we get like 1,500 pounds of water pressure out of this. It's nothing crazy. It's going to be just enough to do the job for us. Once I get it untangled here. Cool. There's even enough cord here that I can plug it into the wall and I won't need an extension. I like that. So we were supposed to be doing some maintenance on the Harley Davidson Electroglide today. That was the initial plan. But I want this done. And something came up where I have got some things I've got to do this evening, as well as I've got people coming over today to install a new shower in my upstairs bathroom. So I kind of can't spend all my day in the garage, and I didn't really want to get elbow deep into a project. So next best thing is to keep our feet moving forward a little bit, clean this project up. As the last thing I'm going to actually do to it would be install a new battery and some fresh gasoline, and the guy can take it home. So let's see, can we clean her up and make her look a little better? Get the water turned on here. Degreaser, we got a scrub brush. Elbow grease is your friend when it comes to this. Harsh chemicals, strong pressure washers sometimes can cause more damage than they are worth. A little bit longer and do some things by hand. And I think you'll find you'll be much happier. I think we are shit out of luck on the pressure washer. That sucks. I stored it outside and I think I drained it out good, but I think we may have cracked the fitting from freezing. That sucks. Well, hey, what's up from Switzerland? You see the water shooting out of that? That's a bad deal. Let's plug it in and see if we got anything. We may not be using a pressure washer today. I may be ordering a new one. Damn it. That kind of sucks. All right. Yep. Let's try this plug over here. That sucks. It might come back around when pressure hits it, but I think we might be shit out of luck on the pressure washer. It was a cheap one. I guess we'll have to buy another one. Let's try this side. Okay. That's a bitch. My pressure washer just took a humongous shit. Damn it. All right. So that's off the table. Guess we're doing this the really hard way by hand. Was not in the mood to do that. Oh, devil. All right. We can work around it, maybe. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, that's definitely busted in there. All right. Whatever. New pressure washer incoming. It was time to upgrade anyway, right? So we'll just do this the hard way, which means a little more hand scrubbing. And well, we did it that way for years before we bothered with a pressure washer. So that's the name of that tune for today, unfortunately. That sucks. Really sucks. I'll take that thing apart and maybe it's just bad fitting. I don't know. But if it gets cold, and when I say cold, I mean we were like minus 10 weeks ago. And I did drain that out very good, but as you know, it doesn't take much. Water expands when it freezes, which means I need a new pressure washer. I store it in a kind of a mud room underneath my house that doesn't have heat. These old houses up here on the hill, years and years ago, everything was heated by coal. So they all have like a coal chute under the house, and that's where that was kept. Nah, it's not the GFI, man. It's definitely not that. You're getting power to the pressure washer, the fitting where the pressure line hooked in. Looks like that fitting's cracked. That sucks. So, whatever, man. We will work around it. All right. Do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to lose this. That ain't going to work there at all. How about here? It's a little more level. Get the stand there. Yep, that's not going to work too well there either. Looks like you guys got to watch it from in here. Damn it. Nothing's working out on me today. Nothing. My driveway has a pretty steep angle, as you can see, which we live on a seriously steep hill. All right, get everything soaked down and let it sit for a couple minutes. It's kind of better off because I tell folks all the time, don't go nuts with your pressure washer. Don't. You know, I don't like the idea of them. They do what they need to do, but they can sometimes cause you more havoc. Like I said, getting water in places where water shouldn't be. And like I said, this bike is in, as far as dirty, whew, she's bad. She sat for a long time outside. And the last year or so that the owner had it, it was kind of like his beater bike, and he was dreaming of a new bike, so he didn't really take after it as good as maybe he should have as far as keeping up on things. So we'll give him a good once over, clean her up, and see what we can do to bring the paint back around. Because with my limited time today, I do not have time to run to Home Depot, Walmart, Lowe's, whatever. I do not have time to run out and buy another pressure washer and still get something accomplished. We're just going to have to do this by hand, because at the end of the day, it'll take less time to do this by hand than it will for me to actually go buy another pressure washer. And honestly, that's kind of why you're seeing so many more live videos from me. Given the time constraints of like trying to make content for you guys, as well as working a full-time job, taking care of family members and stuff, and doing everything that needs done in life, it is sometimes tough for me to find time to do everything. So rather than the process of doing everything step by step, filming it, sitting down, editing it, sometimes it's quicker just for me to set my phone up like this and go live for y'all. And you get to see things as I'm doing them, see how they turn out. And overall, it's not the best for the channel, because ideally, folks really only want to watch a certain amount of a video. Like, they want to see what you're doing and then be done with it. Whereas the stuff you don't see on most YouTubers, the struggles of fixing things and making them good again, a lot of times you just don't see that. You see the abridged version, the edited version. And I think it's kind of cool to do things this way and let folks see exactly what goes into messing with some of these old machines and bringing them back to life. There's a lot of stuff they don't normally see that you can see on a live. You can watch the struggles and trials and tribulations. You can see that sometimes it's not as easy as some of these YouTube mechanic channels make it look. And I'd like to think some folks appreciate that, but what do I know, you know? I know I get a lot of views on live, so you guys must be enjoying them because you're watching the crap out of them, man. And I appreciate that. Wholeheartedly appreciate that. We got a scrub brush for the nasty bits. We're going to need some rags. Hey, what's up, Dirt Bike Picks? You've been in my videos a lot, man. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my stuff, dude. That's awesome of you. Bumps the algorithm. You guys get to see these projects from beginning to end that way, which is cool. And yeah, all that happy horse stuff. All right, I guess while that's soaking, I know you guys can hear me and you can't see me, but while that's soaking, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some gentler detergent, a little bit of dishwashing liquid here, and some warm water. And we'll use that on the painted surfaces. We've already sprayed them down with degreaser, but since it's in the shade, we're going to let that soak in for a minute. And mix up some, like I said, just something a little milder for when we actually get to where we're going to do some scrubbing. All right. Really a bummer about the pressure washer. That would have cut this down a lot and made things quicker, but whatever. Yeah, they're good. Hey, dude, I appreciate it. I dig that you like what I'm doing, man. That's cool. Means I'm doing well. Hey, any new viewers, remember one thing. Smoking cigarettes, that's really bad for you. You know what else is bad for you? watching my videos without liking and subscribing. I see 90 in there. I only see 5 likes. Come on, man. Show dude some love. Hey, there's 11 of you. Right on. Show dude some love. All right. Just a little bit of solution here. Now, you devil. I gave him these rims to take to a bike shop and have tires put on. And I really wish the little bugger would have took some time and cleaned these rims up himself, but he did not, so here I am. Well, like I said, we're only going so far with this today because, well, our pressure washer took a shit. We're going to see if I can't clean this up a little bit. Make it look a little better. It is what it is. Motorcycle like this is classified as, to me, as like a beater bike. I mean, you really wanted to turn it into something special, you absolutely could. But it's not the kind of bike that I would go through that kind of work doing. It's the kind of bike that I'd get running and enjoy it as it is. I'm not a big Suzuki fan. As far as metric bikes goes, I really like Honda and I really like Yamaha. Much more so than I like Suzuki. So I feel like I would take a little more time in the aesthetics. In other words, making it look nicer. I would take more time on it if it were a Honda Shadow, simply because I like those bikes more. Not that there's anything wrong with this old Suzuki. It's a good machine and it does what it needs to do, but, you know, in life, you like what you like. And so I like old Hondas and I like some Yamahas. Like if this was an old Yamaha XS 650, oh, we'd be all over this thing. Flies on poop. But if it was a Yamaha R6 or something, we'd get it running and get it down the road. I'm not a real big fan of the Yamaha V-Star series. Once again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, other than they like to shit starters. And the Virago series had that issue as well with the starters. And they're a complete mother to fix, and it was a design flaw by Yamaha in the 80s. And they carried that same flaw into the V-Star line. The 1100 and the 1300 V-Star both have that design flaw in the starter gear. And to be honest with you, most people buy those bikes and it's kind of like a intro level bike. They don't consider them a forever machine. And usually you could pick them up rather cheaply. And that's generally what I see with them. You see the same thing with Honda Shadows as well. Folks will buy a Honda Shadow, ride the wheels off of it and decide they want something bigger, better, faster, whatever. Then they'll sell it to the next guy and he'll put friggin' Temu lights all over it and dumb stuff and mess up the electrics and the wiring. He'll dump it a bunch of times because he doesn't care about it, because he really wanted a Harley, but he bought a Shadow because that's what he could afford. And then they end up with me and I get them up and running and I sell them to folks who can't really afford a nice bike. I try to give them something that's reliable and runs well that they can enjoy for a while and learn to ride, etc. Yeah, this is the shitty part, dude. If we would have been able to use the pressure washer, everything that I'm scrubbing off right now would have just blown right off, but time constraints being what they are, if I had to run out and buy another pressure washer right now, this just wouldn't get done today. So we'll do it the old school, old-fashioned hard way, just so that we can get it done. Kind of sucks, but hey, such is life. As well as on this gas tank, the owner of it has put a decal that he really likes, and tough to find another one just like it, so told him we would try to save it, and doing it this way will not hurt the decal. Which is good. Yeah. We're going to need to really put some work into some of the chrome on this bike. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to actually do. I might do some of it just to show y'all how good something can come back around if you put a little effort into it. But I feel like that's going to be the owner's job to do that. 20 of you. Hey, we increased the legs a little. Right on. Let's get some of that degreaser off. Like I said, this degreaser is somewhat caustic. Painted surfaces, chrome, aluminum surfaces that are not clear coated. It'll eat the clear coat off. But stuff that is not clear coated, you really aren't going to want that to sit on there that long. It's just not a good deal. Going to make it look all kind of funky. It'll eat the clear, it'll eat the paint, it'll do all kind of bad stuff that you don't want to see. So and we're gonna have to do one more go over with everything. Okay, like the difference between just something like this and a pressure washer, this is more volume of water hitting something. Remember this, I pressure washed for a few years before I got into doing what I'm doing now. Industrial pressure washing, power plants, steel mills, etc., chemical refineries. Pressure cuts, volume cleans. Always remember that. So we're using a degreaser to kind of cut the grease that's making the dirt stick, but it's also kind of a little bit harsh. So we kind of want a lot of volume of water to rinse that right off and make it look better. All right. Let's grab one more thing before we get it with a second coating of degreaser. Okay, now you can find this right here any dollar store. All right, hopefully you can't see it. There we go. You will be surprised what this does to pitting on chrome. one of the cheapest products you can find, and it really makes something come back around. Let me hit this bike up with a little more degreaser in certain spots where it needs it. And we're going to let that soak in while we do a little work on some of the chrome pieces that don't really look so good. And like even my Harleys and stuff, as you can see, I usually keep them super clean. I don't know if we're going to do that with the Sportster. That's kind of like our around town beater bike, you know, so I can keep my good bikes clean. That's why we took on the Sportster project, just so I had a beater bike to rip around town and ride to work. And at work is a gravel parking lot that, well, if you have a nice, clean, detailed bike after a 10 or 12-hour shift, your bike is no longer nice, clean, and detailed. It looks like crap from sitting in that parking lot. And that is exactly where my Sportster comes into play, because when it is finished and painted, it will be a flat black color, so it won't really matter. I can just, instead of this, I'll use simple green, much milder. And literally to wash it, we're just going to spray it with simple green, let it sit in the shade for 20 minutes, and then hose it with a garden hose, and it'll look great. That is the beauty of going flat black, no fancy paint jobs, stuff like that on your machines. All right, it's simple scouring pads, steel wool, it's quad 4 steel wool. You can go to the auto parts and buy it. You can go anywhere and buy it, or you can go to the dollar store and for $1 you pick up a box of these. It comes with about 8 of them, give or take. Now, come check this out. Let me get you guys in here close. I can get this leaned against the bike so that it doesn't fall over. All right. See how bad that surface? This is actually pretty bad. I don't know how well this is going to come back around, but this is going to give you an idea of what you can do with just a cheap product like this and some elbow grease. You get a bucket of soapy water and get this pad wet so that it's pliable. And then we're just going to go to town. Elbow grease is key in something like this. Like I said, this, I'm going to be honest, this little headlight eyebrow, I don't think it's going to come back around and look like it's brand new at all. I don't think we're going to get that lucky, but we're going to throw some elbow grease at it with literally the cheapest dollar store product for motorcycle cleaning and detailing that you can find. Something that literally costs $1. We might have to go heavier and use some slightly more abrasive product on it. Let me see, do I have something handy? Look in the abrasives cabinet. Let's see what we got. Yeah, here's a piece. Tear a chunk off. Now that that's wetted up, green Scotch-Brite, a little more abrasive. Let's get it wet so that it's nice and pliable. And we'll take this to it. A little bit more abrasive of a product, so you don't really want to go too nuts, because you will actually tear off some of that chrome plating and get to the copper underneath, and it'll look like crap. But let's go ahead and see how the water's turning dark. That's actually metal you're removing. Okay, and we'll go back over it with the quad 4. That'll polish it up some. My phone is going to fall. Hopefully that holds it. Okay. rinse my hands here, move you guys back so we don't soak the phone. And we'll flood this with some water. And it's about what I expected. All right. As you can see, it didn't come out perfect. It's not going to bling bling shine unless I actually take a chrome polishing product, a finer abrasive to it. But you can see how much rust that removed. And down here on these fork legs, these are aluminum. They're also chrome coated. So same thing. I don't think we want heavy abrasive, but we're going to put a little bit of elbow grease to them and see if we can't get some of that pitting off of there and make it look a little nicer. I have to get that from the other side. It's all stuff you can do at home, man. If your bike looks like crap, take some time and clean it up, man. Like, look, we're not using fancy products here. This is dollar store stuff. You'd be surprised how far you can get with something like that. A lot of elbow grease and time. And that's kind of what my channel's about, is reviving old motorcycles without a lot of money. And that's the basis behind what I do. Because a lot of times in my life, I didn't really have money for a bike at all, let alone a nice bike. So I'll take old beat up ones like this, and I put a lot of elbow grease into them and used parts, clean them up the best I could, get them running the best I could, and I'd enjoy the hell out of them. And that's kind of the difference in attitudes, where a lot of folks, if they can't have the motorcycle they want, they would just as soon not ride. And I can't understand that attitude, man. I'm old school. I enjoy riding motorcycles, and it doesn't have to be the best, perfect, whatever. I would rather ride some old pile of crap and enjoy it than sit at home with my thumb up my butt watching TV, wishing I had a motorcycle. You feel me? And that's part of the reason why we started this channel, is to try to inspire some of y'all to maybe do the same thing. Maybe save some of these older bikes, put some love into them, get them up and running and enjoy them. And a lot of your metric bikes, they're built to be durable, but not necessarily built to stand the test of time. And I say this because a whole lot of plastic coverings and stuff that once they break, they're done. Oftentimes you can't replace them. Stuff like that. So if you still have life in the machine, why not use it for what it's intended for and enjoy riding it? If it's not perfect, so be it. And like, for real, you go to these bike nights and meetups and stuff, and you'll see your Harley guys with their polished up, sometimes $50,000 or more machines. I promise you, they're not going to make fun of you for having an older beat up bike that you actually put some elbow grease and care into. They're going to commend you for that. And if they don't, they're a freaking douchebag, man. You don't need to chill with them. Tell them to piss off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never cared. I've got some nice bikes. They're nowhere near 50,000. None of that. I've got some older Harley Davidsons from when a Harley was a Harley. And I enjoy the hell out of riding them. And occasionally you got to work on them. And to me, that's all part of the game. I have almost as much fun working on an older bike as I do riding it. And, you know, where I live in the winter, you're not riding your bike in the winter here. I promise you. You might have a nice day once in a while where it's not too bad out, but you can imagine what the salt they put on the roads does to a motorcycle. It destroys everything. So, for the most part, you're not really riding your bike in the winter, and that's when I take the time to do upgrades and rebuilds. And, you know, we bring in project bikes and bring them back around and try to sell them to folks who can't afford a bike, you know. That's what happened with the VT 1100 Sabre Shadow. We fixed it all up, sold it. And that's what happened to the gold, tan colored GL 1200 Goldwing. We got her up and running, got everything working, fixed a nightmare of wiring, sold it. The 1500 Goldwing, same thing. We rebuilt the carburetors. We rebuilt the brake calipers. We got everything functioning the way it should, sold it. You know, I don't make a lot of money doing that. Honestly, make more smiles. You know, smiles on people's faces, make them happy, give them something to ride and enjoy. Try to live the bike life and pay it forward. Get somebody inspired. Into doing their own thing, and maybe someday they buy that $50,000 Harley because that, you know, $1,500 metric bike inspired them so much they found out how much they love motorcycles that they worked harder, got a better job, etc. Figured life out, doing better, and all of a sudden maybe they can afford the $50,000 Harley. I don't know. It's a concept anyway. Yeah, we got to do some more scrubbing on this side. There's still a little bit of rust. We're going to use a little more heavier abrasive pad on that. A little more gentle though. A couple spots where the Brillo was just not enough abrasive to really clean it up and make it look better. We'll use this medium grade Scotch-Brite. And be honest with you, I should probably be using the red fine Scotch-Brite, but this stuff will do the job. You just have to be a little more gentle with her. Okay. Let all that soap kind of soak in. Do a second scrub down on the paint. All right. Pardon me. Farting up the storm this morning. All right. All right, so 49 minutes. You consider 10 minutes of me setting everything up. So we basically have put a half hour worth of elbow grease, some cheap products into this machine. Nothing crazy. All right. Give the camera a light, shine a light towards the bike from behind the camera. More concerned with getting the job done than, see what I'm saying? We're limited on time here. All right, there you go. That's just a half hour elbow grease. If you watch from the beginning to the end, it's got a long way to go, and the owner of this machine can finish it up. I just wanted to give it a little cleanup before it left here. And as you can see, there's not a lot we can do with that. I'll put a little bit of a finer abrasive kind of rubbing compound to it and clean that up. But that whole thing was rust. And that's what's up. Yeah, we got it up and running for a friend of mine. Southern Illinois, Marion, Illinois. Right on, man. Welcome. As you can tell by the paint job on this Harley, it says Phoenix Motorsports, but we're close to Pittsburgh, PA. And this is the Great White Buffalo, my Electra Glide. And you see the difference. 20-year-old bike, and yeah, I keep it that clean. But yeah, we got this here this does need a degreasing, but we're going to do more work to it. And it's actually, after today, we're going to do a riding video on this bike. I got the GoPros charged up, and after that, she'll get, well, we may ride around for a few more weeks. When the temperature hits a steady 50 degrees like this outside, should be in the next couple of weeks. That bike is coming apart, the paint's getting stripped off, and it's getting painted. I do have a heated garage, but I don't know what you know about a paint stripper. It stinks, okay? So it's got to be done outside, and we need it to be a little nicer before we do something like that. So we're going to ride that bike around, make a couple videos, and enjoy it. And maybe mid-March or so, might even wait till April, that bike will completely come back apart. And we will hit it with some paint stripper, take the paint off of it. And I have not quite decided whether it is going to go to my friend who owns an automotive shop and be painted nicely, or whether, like, part of me just wants to do a flat black rattle can on it. When it's finished, it's going to be that type of bike that's going to look good with a flat black rattle can job. So that might be what it gets. I don't know. I do know I got to strip off the paint. I don't like the blue. Who's calling me? One of my co-workers. I'll deal with that later. I don't care. I am not at work right now. Do not bother me. Get some of the heavy water off of this, and we'll get it up in the garage again. And we'll let you have a little better look at it. All right. Yeah, some things came out good, some things did not come out as good, but for what this machine is and what we're doing with it, all intents and purposes, it came out just fine. All right. Get rid of this. Really sucks about the pressure washer taking a crap today. That's a bummer. But it kind of goes to my point, like I try to tell you guys, elbow grease many times will get you a lot further down the road than anything else. You get you further than fancy products, it'll get you further than fancy equipment, elbow grease. And I'd rather you put the time into your bike to do it this way. It all depends. Okay, depends on your Harley. If you've got an AMF era bike, yeah, you're probably going to be turning some wrenches on it. If you've got anything from 85 on up, if they're properly maintained, you're changing oil when you're supposed to change oil, you're checking your primary chain tension, you're keeping your bike clean. Yeah, they're like, I can tell you this much, and Evo Sportster is every bit as reliable as a Honda Shadow. The only difference is you got to open up the primary window and check your primary chain tension occasionally. You got to tighten that up a little. Every bit as reliable. And this is coming from a guy who works on them, who rode Honda Shadows for years, who also rode Harleys for years. The ones that are not reliable are ones that guys have taken out and beaten the crap out of and not taken care of. And if you do that to a Honda Shadow, it's going to be unreliable for you as well. It is. The older AMF era bikes, yeah, they need a little more love, and that's something that I don't get into. I don't mess with them. I would like to, but the prices on them are, whoo, lordy, they're up there. So, you know, and they're only going higher. We may, within the next year or so, we may buy an AMF era Ironhead Sportster, just a full width here at the shop and make videos and something cool. I would love to have a pre-AMF era bike like an old Panhead, but man, that's expensive. And, you know, we got to live life and do things, so maybe someday. I don't know. To me, like, you can completely build one of those from aftermarket parts. Might be the way to go for me, to be honest with you. That might just be the way I go on something like that. Fucking way she goes, boys. Way she goes, right? But, like, you know, we've got this bike here. It's not mine, it's a customer's bike, but right on. It gets ridden hard by a big guy like me, and it's a Sportster. It's kind of an around town ripper. This guy will get on this bike and ride it a couple states away, and he's a big dude and having some clutch issues. The amount of miles that are on it, as hard as it's ridden, I understand why there's some clutch issues, and that's why it's here. That's why it came apart, and the parts should be in next week to finish it. And we're simply going to replace the clutch, but we're going to do one thing. We're going to put a heavy-duty clutch spring in it. That should resolve his issues. Now, if you build the engine up, a heavy-duty clutch spring is a must. Or, you know, if you're a big guy and you ride the bike hard, it is also a must. My particular Sportster, as of now, this blue one, all right, bike. What's up, boy? Vincent from Miami. Don't beef me. Okay, what do we got here? You're Gen Z, bro. I'm 23. Beefing like I'm up beefing. Hey, dude. Wow, Vincent from Miami. Calm down. This is the internet, bro. Calm down. It's okay. It'll be okay. I am not Gen Z. Obviously. I was born in 1980. Ask your mama about me. All right. Hold on, I'll be back. And what's up? Well, what's up is I enjoy fooling with older motorcycles. All right, get the old girl back into the stable. Get you a look at her now, see what she looks like. All right. A little better light in here. You'll be able to. What's up then? Don't beef me, boy. Yeah, the only beef involved was when I gave your mama some beef, boy. Anyways, yeah. Half hour, 45 minutes, and it looks a whole lot better. We'll get it to this point. This bike is actually filthy dirty. It needs a detail job bad, but everything brightened up. Long way to go. You need to hit the paint, a polishing compound of some sort, but that is for the owner to do. My work here is done as far as cleaning that machine. Time we got. We'll hang out live for a little bit longer here, and I got some stuff I want to do today, so we're not going to spend a full day on the live. I should have washed this bike, but I didn't. Is what it is, folks. Let's see here. We're going to set up a helmet for a moto vlog. If you watch the riding videos, this is the helmet I use to moto vlog with. It's like crazy. I like the modulars. I don't like a full face, but you know, GoPro mounts right there, and when I'm moto vlogging, I talk through that. So it's kind of the way you got to do it if you want to actually have your viewers hear what you're doing. Some stuff moved out of the way here. Let's do something else, like newer viewers. This seat looked like total dog poo. And last weekend, we took some time with some leather products, and we brought it back around. It doesn't look brand new. It's not going to. You can see how bad the leather's deteriorated. But it literally sat underneath a tree for 3 years out in the weather, and I feel like it came out really good for what it is, and that was about an hour and a half of elbow grease. Just going to lay it in place for now. And, yeah. That gives you an idea of what this crusty old machine can turn into. And that was just a little bit of elbow grease. You know, we can turn it into something that looks really nice with a lot more elbow grease and a lot more time. That's not happening today. It's very nice and warm where I live, and that's a rarity for this time of year. And I want to make a moto vlog, so with the helmet set up to do that. Okay, I need to GoPro mount for that. That is an 800cc Suzuki Marauder. They were only made for a few years. I want to say 96 to 2000. I could be wrong. I do believe it was replaced by the C50 Boulevard, I think. Like I said, I'm a Honda fan. When it comes to metric bikes, I like Honda and Yamaha. And only certain Yamaha. So I have a wealth of knowledge on those machines. I never much got into Suzuki. I have nothing against them. I just never much got into them. So I couldn't exactly tell you, you know, the exact years because I'm not an encyclopedia on Suzuki like I am on Honda. Well, shit fire. Where's my GoPro mount? Dang it. I can't find my GoPro mount. We're not making a moto vlog. I think it might be upstairs in the office. Oh, man. Dude. It is. It's upstairs in the office. I really don't have time to mess with it. That sucks. It's pretty bad. Dude, man, that's a bummer. I have this small GoPro that I can mount up on the handlebars. The seller stuff is called Leather Reek. It is a condition and oil base. Worth it. Take a hard leather seat and turn it soft as can be. Yeah. We used regular old-fashioned saddle soap that I bought at a Tractor Supply Company, and we used some mink oil to turn that around. And it's the same deal. It's a natural product made of glycerin and, you know, mink oil. It does the same thing. And you get a much, you know, I got a tin like this tall and maybe this big around for $10. Auto upholstery. Right on, man. It sounds like really good stuff. Like, I just used the generic. Let me see. I have the can over here. Let me go grab it for you. But this is what I use. I use it on my boots too. And this is a crappy one. I like the brand, but I hear you. Because it was $9 and I was actually in supply, and it does same thing. A little more elbow grease. The seat to kind of warm the leather up and get the mink oil to sink into it a little more. Yeah, dude, it's good stuff. I use it on my riding boots. My preferred pair of riding boots are dingo boots. You don't really use polish on them. You just use mink oil. So I always have that laying around to do my riding boots. That right there, that is a total bummer. I have to run back to my office to get the freaking GoPro mount. Damn it. I don't quite want to cut this video just yet. Do I have a second mount down here? I might. Be nice if I did. I don't think I do. I think I took them both upstairs last time I made a video. I did. Aw, beans. Like, I took the time to charge my batteries and get the GoPro set up. I just didn't. I thought the mount was down here, and it's not. It's up in my office with my computer and the rest of my GoPro stuff. That is a total bummer. Can we make a mount out of what we got here? We might be able to make something work. I don't think so. The mount that I'd like to use for that is in the office. My riding videos, we just use a GoPro Hero 10 and a media mod for the microphone. And I have a mount that goes on the helmet and rides the GoPro right about here so you can hear me talk. And I like to mount this on the handlebar so I can do a screen in screen where you can see me and then you can see the road. The mic's on this. You know, this is like it's just a GoPro Hero. This is one of the ones that I don't want to call it sacrificable, but like for what one of these cost, if it would fall off the bike, I'm going to be upset, but I'm not going to be as upset as losing a $400 setup. You know what I mean? This is, you could pick up just the camera alone for about $125. Yeah, I don't like a full face either. Where is the helmet I normally... I wear them for doing moto vlogs simply because it holds the camera where I want it to be. And yeah, but generally, if I'm just going out for a ride, I've had this same helmet for about 8-9 years now. And it's beat to crap, covered in stickers, but it actually is a quality helmet. OTs, you know, is what it is. But yeah, this is my favorite, like just throw it on and go for a ride helmet. But when I moto vlog, I have a place to put a camera over here, but the microphone to actually talk and narrate the video is up here. You don't hear it, you hear wind noise. Whereas when I do most of my moto vlogging, most of it is done from that white electric glide over there. So I've got a full windshield. You don't hear the wind noise. And like I said, the microphone for the camera is right up here in my face where I need it to be, where you can actually hear me narrate. The video that we're going to shoot today, hopefully, if there's time, is going to be done on that Harley Sportster project that we took in about a month ago and brought it back to life. So the audio is not going to be the greatest no matter what I do, but kind of wanted to do one thing. We did what they would call a stage 1 kit. We put open exhaust, open air cleaner, rejetted the carburetor, and series along the way, because guys are getting into these, they're wanting to build them up. So I figure, all right, I'll do one. And I want to do a comparison. I'm going to ride on the same streets as the last video I made, and you can gauge it, you know, as far as does the bike feel faster. As you see, I'm a bigger dude. It's an 883 Sportster. It's going to do what it's going to do. My Super Glide is an Evo, but it's far from stock, and it runs extremely well. It's a powerful machine. So we'll do some stuff with the little sporty that could. Just like I said, these bikes are gaining traction, they're gaining popularity, and I want to kind of show folks what you can do with one of these. But there's something I do, and I don't know if you've noticed it on my other machines. It is a good luck charm that I have been doing for over 20 years. All right, I'm not in a motorcycle club, no gang, no nothing, none of that bullshit. I just like old bikes and I like to ride. This is good luck for me, and there's 2 reasons why I do this, and you'll notice every one of my bikes will have a green bandana tied on to the left side of the handlebars. Doesn't represent club colors, doesn't represent anything like that. It is simply a good luck charm that I have been doing for well over 20 years. And this bike is officially a rider. It's mine, it's in my name, it's insured, all that. So we're going to be doing some riding on it. So we need the good luck charm. A couple reasons. Good luck, plus 2, if stopping at a red light and you have some schmutz on your glasses, road grit, bugs, etc., you can pop them off your face and wipe them off right there. Bandanas are very useful for a lot of stuff, dude. You need to make a tourniquet, you can use the bandana. You need fix your bike on the side of the road, you have some loose parts, you can make a little bag out of it. There's a million and one uses for a bandana. I like to keep one where I can reach it on the bike, you know, just reach down and whatever. So yeah, that's my thing. And you'll notice here, I'll take you for another little walk around here. The 3 bikes that are mine in this shop are this Sportster, this Electra Glide, and this Super Glide. I got a shirt hanging on it, but move that over here, as you can see here. And man, I got to take some of this cardboard out to the trash. Every one of my bikes, it's just a little old school. Never understood going fast and not enjoying the ride. I feel you on that. But yeah, that's just a little old school thing that I have been doing absolutely forever, that I will continue to do forever. And it's just something I do, man. We got to do one more thing to this little bike. It's not going to get saddlebags or bags of any sort. It's not that kind of bike. This is an around town city ripper bike. But that being said, you're a damn fool if you're riding an older motorcycle and you don't at least have some tools of some sort. So I have one of these on my Super Glide, and I picked one up for this bike. They're cheap. Amazonian Jungle website, like 15 bucks. Pardon me. Eggs for breakfast are talking back. and it's not overdone, but it's just enough to throw on the front, throw a couple wrenches in, a couple screwdrivers, a little bit of tape, you know, a pair of pliers for any kind of roadside stuff, and more importantly, your documentation for your machine. Some guys will make like a rolled up tube to put their stuff in. I prefer something like this. You know, it just rides right there on the front. It's not obtuse, it's not obnoxious. It does look somewhat cool, and you know, these very cheap leather product. It's nothing crazy, you know, but it's on there for when you need it. We'll go ahead and get this mounted up, and maybe we'll fire this bike up and warm it up. I think we're going to cut the live because I have to go up into my house and find the mount for my GoPro. I have to be somewhere at about 2:30. I'm really cutting it close on time today, and I do want to shoot a little bit of a riding video on this bike, so the mechanical work on it's pretty much all done at this point. We have more to go. We're going to modify it a little more. I have lowering shocks for the rear, and within a month or so we're going to put an extended front end on this machine too. These are about as simple as they come to mount. You just take these little leather buckles and, well, first of all, you put them through the proper way. I put that one on upside down. But they just buckle around your fork tubes. I got that the right way? No, I got it. Killing me here. All right. We want that to go this way, means this goes this way. Come on. Let's put that through loose right now until we get the other one in. Like I said, it's just nice to have a place to put your bike documentation and a couple of small tools. Let's go this way. So that would go in here, out here. Okay, pull that through, tuck it down inside here, tighten this side up a little. Of course, there's no hole poked through on that. Yeah, but centered good. Oh, it's off to one side a little too much. Loosen this up. There we go. Tighten this side up a little bit. poke some holes in here. It's for, I got to do that on my super glide. There we go. That goes through here, through this loop. Through and pull it tight. All right. And we need some general pack of smokes. Yeah, right? Used to carry one of those wherever I went. Exactly, man. Yeah, like, look, you can have a brand new bike and something will go funky on you going down the road. But like the main thing is, you know, my tag documentation and insurance information. All that shit out on your cell phone, right? Nowadays. In the state of Pennsylvania, you may come across a state trooper that really feels like being a dick. And even though you got it on your phone, he still wants to see the paper documentation because some of them are dickheads like that, and that's what they require. So I keep it with the bike. It's right there, easy access. Let's throw a couple of wrenches in there. Oh, those are metric. What do we got? No, we don't want full size. We want stubby wrenches. What do we get over here? 9/16, 5/8. Throw a long 9/16. There's a lot of 9/16 bolts on that bike. Three-eighths, half. And one of the things we're going to do today is pull the plugs and we'll do the idle mixture. We'll need this screwdriver for that. And this one is nice to have, you know. Will that fit in there? Hopefully it will. You know, I don't have a regular bit for that, so we're going to forgo that, but we'll use this guy here. And do I have a small Phillips? This guy here. I always carry a pocket knife. So that's about as simple of a toolkit, you know, as you're going to want to have. I think we want a pair of pliers as well. Nothing crazy. We will use this cheap piece of crap. And that's your toolkit. You know, you got pliers, most often used wrenches on this particular bike, you know, just enough that if something should happen going down the road, we can take care of it. Well, hopefully this will all fit comfortably in here. Yeah, it does. Okay, we need one more thing. I doubt we'll need it, but we would be stupid not to carry a spark plug wrench. Pretty sure there's 5/8 on this bike. Let's see, I got a spark plug here. If I have a stubby wrench in that size, that would be just fine to remove spark plugs as well. No. Are they 5/8? I don't think they're 5/8. Oh. (13/16). Well, I just had that out the other day. Nope. Because I just changed the spark plugs on this machine. And what in God's name did I do? With the socket. That's too big. There we go. 18 millimeter. I forgot. American bike, NGK plugs, Japanese, 18 millimeter. I can't memorize everything off by heart, guys. I try. Well, do we want an actual... We don't necessarily need a ratchet. What do we have that'll be small and lightweight? I do have a stubby ratchet somewhere in this menagerie of bullcrap. Not this guy, but he'll be too long. There we go. This will be just perfect. Just enough to change a plug. If we need to, we'll throw a couple of plugs in here as well. And that'll be for another time. All right. What did I want to look at on this before we did another ride? Need a metric wrench. I want to check just one thing. It should be a 14. Yep. Nope. Not a 14, it's a 12. Stupid aftermarket Ford controls come with partially standard and partially metric. Yep, that's a standard. Kind of an annoying thing about them, but for what I paid for these things, I really can't complain. Watch on here, make sure that's still tight. Yep, we Loctited that, but I wanted to double check it. And we're going to throw this in the toolkit as well. It's a broken off wrench. It's 1/2 inch and it fits a lot of stuff and it fits in tight places, so I keep crap like this laying around. All right, last thing to do, I guess, get this bike warmed up a little bit. You guys can hear the sound of, oh, we need gas in it too. Yeah, forgot about that. I bought gas for this bike. A little funnel action here, maybe. That way, during the course of motor vlogging, I don't have to pull over and buy gas. What you guys don't know is in the video I made of this is a Harley Davidson 883 enough bike for a big man. What you don't know, because I edited it out, I didn't have enough gas in it to really make a video. I just had enough to test run the bike and I got excited and said, you know what, let's do a riding video. Some bitch ran out of gas about a mile from my house. I had to push it home. Let's not make that mistake twice. And as well as this bike is going to come apart for paint, I exactly want to have it plumb full of gas at all times. How much is in there? Let's go a little bit more. Yeah, we don't exactly want it plumb full of gas because it is going to come apart for paint soon-ish. And I don't know if I'm going to burn it all off, and I hate like hell to transfer. If I can get it up over half tank. Where are we at there? That's plenty enough to shoot a riding video. That's probably, Sportster only got a 2.5 gallon tank, so that's probably 1.5 gallons in the tank. And it'll be enough for 60 miles. That's about all we're going to do today. That's all we're going to have time to do, if that, really. All right, get the engine warmed up. And then we're going to go shoot a moto vlog. That right there is how you warm up an Evolution era Harley Davidson. Yeah, I certainly got my cardio. We got here. Always carry a spare half eating Slim Jim 3/4 screwed squirrel. Anyways, spark plug gapper, yeah, dude. Keychain ones, right? Evolution series Harleys, aluminum cylinders, steel liners, okay, aluminum cases, steel studs. When you warm them up, choke them as little as necessary. A heavy choke, you're going to carbon up your plugs. Choke it just till you're able to catch it with a little bit of throttle and put your hand on the cylinder. You really don't want to run the bike hard until you can feel heat in that hand that's on the cylinder. There's a reason for that. Those aluminum cylinders, even though they're steel lined, those aluminum cylinders are going to expand. As they expand, they're going to draw tighter on the studs. So if it's cold and you take it out and you run the piss out of it, that cylinder's not fully expanded when it's cold. This can lead to base gasket blowout. So one thing to make sure your Evolution series Harley Davidson engine lasts forever and doesn't blow base gaskets is to take a couple of minutes to warm it up like that before you ride it. You won't see me do that on the twin cam powered Electra Glide. You will definitely see me do that on the Evolution powered Super Glide. That engine is high compression. It has a mild cam in it. There's a lot of cylinder pressure, so you got to warm it up really well before you ride it. It only takes a minute. And as you can hear that little bit of back popping, I think my idle circuit is just a twinge lean. I haven't rode this bike enough to have the carburetor set up. We just ripped it around town a little, and that is what I have an hour before I got to clean up and be somewhere. But that's what today's moto vlog is going to be. Ride it around this town, get it warm up, bring it back in here, and do the final adjustment on the carburetor. So with that note, I got to cut out. I will see you guys later. Thanks from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and watching me do my thing, man. I will check you guys later. I'm going to go shoot a moto vlog really quick, and then the rest of my day is friggin' full. I got people coming in to install a new shower and some other things in my upstairs bathroom. I got to be there for that. And yeah, is what it is. I'm busy for the rest of the day. I'm probably going to be busy tomorrow. So hopefully we could fit in alive. And I will see you guys next time, man. Check out the riding video. Should hopefully be up by Sunday if I got time to shoot it on this Sportster. And well, same thing. As you can see, big dude, 5'11", 280 pounds, stage 1 on an 883 Sportster. So check it out, man. Later.